You birthed these characters, but if I were to ask you to choose one, who's your favorite from this season?
Srikant
But
Tiwari.
Yeah, ये तो ना given है. I think I should remove him from the equation
the
because it's
journalist,
kind of given that it has to be.
the, the journalist Srikant Tiwari meets outside his office. That's their
Umesh Joshi.
Umesh Joshi.
It's a very serious scene coming up, or like very sharp scene coming up. And okay, chalo, karte. And he goes there, and suddenly he's like, "Thak, Srikant Tiwari." I'm like, this is so cool.
We were actually halfway to shooting season 2 by the time season 1 released.
Okay.
So we had no idea what was coming at us. So we were blissfully ignorant of
I am.
that.
Hi, this is Manoj Bajpayee.
Hi, this is Raj.
Hi, this is DK.
Hi, this is Suparn.
और आप देख रहे हैं
और बताओ
Aur Batao.
और बताओ.
सूफी के साथ.
Hi guys, welcome to yet another episode of Aur Batao. बहुत excitement है because with me is the bunch I can positively say is the most sought after, the most talked about, and I'm also guessing the happiest and most satisfied with the response that their latest show has got. Team Family Man, welcome to Aur Batao.
Thank you.
Hi,
Thank
thank
you.
you, Stutee.
Hi.
So I have the creators of the show, Raj and DK, who also directed it along with Suparn, Verma. And we have the one and only Srikant Tiwari, Manoj Bajpayee.
Raj, to stop it.
सब नमस्ते कर रहे हैं.
Actually, हम प्रणाम भी कर सकते हैं, but हाँ.
Okay, those who are watching this interview, here's a warning. अगर अभी तक you haven't seen season 2, then I'd suggest you please stop watching this interview and come back once you have, because there might be spoilers and we're going to dissect scenes and.
Thank you
and
for
things.
saying that.
Yes, so if you do come back once you've seen the season. You birthed these characters, but if I were to ask you to choose one, who's your favorite from this season?
Suparn.
Srikant Tiwari.
But
Yeah, ये तो ना given है. I think I should remove him from the equation because it's
journalist.
kind of given that it has to be.
The journalist Srikant Tiwari meets outside his office. That's their
Umesh Joshi.
Umesh Joshi. Yeah. No, all of these characters are superb. I love all
okay,
of
don't
them.
give politically
I gotta
correct
say, if I
answer.
have to
Give me
pick
one.
I
Give only one.
Give one,
Yeah.
and we know
No, I would
it's
pick- I would pick-
anyone apart from that.
would pick
Chellam is my favorite.
Dhriti for this.
Mine too.
I would pick
yes.
Dhriti for this
And
season.
you cannot pick Chellam, you cannot pick Srikant Tiwari, you cannot pick Rajit. Now go.
Dhriti.
I'll pick
Thank
Dhriti
you,
for this
Raj. You
season
made
because
my work so easy. Thanks. So we
Actually, you'll be
removed these
surprised.
three.
You'll be surprised that I don't know how much the money will agree with me, but according to me, the wife's character is written so beautifully. It's the kind of conflict that she's going through, on day-to-day basis. That conflict is humongous, and what she is going through. Coming from first season to this one, if you see the graph, and the more the story progressed, more quieter she's become. Okay,
Right.
she's her role is something which I find quite fascinating.
So we have
That's
an
a good
answer there
point.
from Manoj. Raj?
I'd
absolutely.
like to add to Manoj. Thankfully, I'm happy that he brought it up. More than the fun part of it, I feel it's a great character and one of the least underappreciated. It's like an underappreciated character because she gets so much hate messages for being who she is, and
Yeah.
that first of all is the testament to her really brilliant performance. Number one. Number two is the fact that look at her as an individual and you will understand her problem,
dilemma,
her
yeah.
issues. And that's one of the most complicated characters in that sense that people are coming forward to hate her is a testament to saying that how misunderstood a character, not even misunderstood, a character needs to be understood better. So I'd love for the people to focus on her and as to why she was created that way and what is it that she's going through.
So, but Priyamani is Manoj's, yours? Different answer, Raj?
For me, I'm picking different people, so I'm picking Muthu.
Okay.
I'm picking Muthu, the new
Muthu is
counterpart,
good for, yeah.
Chennai task counterpart, who's like a stud.
Yeah, he's a cool
Totally.
dude.
Totally. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Okay. DK.
Oh, I already picked Dhriti. I think
Dhriti.
sound was not coming through, but I was already picking because she was a child in the previous season, and she beautifully matured and came of age as a personality in this season. And she thrilled all as an actor. As an actor, she thrilled all of us on set, and I think as a character also, she now matured quite a bit.
Suparn, you have to change your answer now.
Now, Supan, we all put you in
Suparn,
a
you
tough
have to
spot with
change.
picking.
But I said
All eyes
Dhriti. I
on you.
took Dhriti
All eyes
earlier.
are on you.
I
Alam
already
now.
picked her,
You
so you
have
have to
to.
pick somebody
Well,
else.
actually, my favorite character, it comes down to a moment actually. More than character, there are a lot of great characters in the show. Is actually Subbu. I really wish that we could have much
Oh,
more of
yeah,
Subbu.
yeah.
There is this moment
I
in the
really love the swag of Subbu, man. I really love the swag of Subbu.
and there is a moment when his brother, calls him and says surrender. And I was standing right next to the camera. I was not. It was a very small room, right? So you didn't need a monitor, and I could see his eyes, his expression, and tears formed in his eyes as he spoke about the betrayal, saying, "You want me to give up." I have goosebumps, and that moment stood out with me. I mean, that's a
That's
character.
a very powerful scene. Yeah. Yeah.
So for me, he was fantastic.
I have an agenda. कि somehow ना इनका secret मैं पता लगवा लूँ. Like if there's one way I can find out, how is it that you can do everything? You're the same person who's done Bhosle, who's done Bhiku Matre, who's done Gali Gunya, who's done Aligarh, and now this season 1 and then season 2. Will you please reveal your secret now?
No, I, I really don't know how to answer this question. All I would say that every preparation of mine it starts with the script and the director's vision. Okay, I don't do anything drastically different from what is required of me. Uh, but yes, there are certain things that I always keep it with me because I love the face of my directors when they are surprised. I just love it. That's the one immediate people whose validation I'm looking for all the time are the directors who are sitting here. When I'm shooting for Family Man. That is it. After that I don't care. After that I know it is very difficult to satisfy the population who is going to watch. But these are the immediate people that or immediate person that you want the appreciation from or the validation from. How do I do it? Stutee, I mean, thank you very much. I think it's an amazing compliment coming from you. Um, I think the understanding of script and cinema comes from watching and doing it. And I'm a pakka acting buff. I'm in love with this craft called acting. I really don't know what I'll be doing, in future if the day I decide to put my legs up. It's really going to be hard because it's a love story between me and the craft of acting. And
How beautiful. Yeah.
the genre that I'm given, the script I'm given, and the vision of the director. These are the things which become essential for me when I get into my own preparation zone and to hold. Also, usually I think by now Raj and DK know it, and Suparn knows it because he's already worked with me in a film long back. That I don't discuss my preparation with my directors. I only discuss what they want, what they are looking for. And in my first film itself, Shekhar Kapoor warned me about it. He said, I'm really not interested in how and what method you are taking. I only want to result in front of the camera. So this is how I approach. This is how I've been approaching Srikant Tiwari. Essentially, it's give all the credit to the gentleman who was sitting here, and other than them is Suman and Manoj. These are the guys who created this character that I fell in love with initially, and then I completely went with their vision and tried to give my own interpretation to it. That's it.
So this gives me a good segue. Now, like I confess that my agenda is to figure out how he does it. Now he's put all that praise on the three of you, saying he seeks your validation. How was he directing him, and how many times did he manage to surprise you?
He does it all the time.
Every day, yeah.
He's sitting and joking and faffing and he's talking random stuff. He doesn't even look like Srikant Tiwari sometimes because his body language also snaps out of it. So I'm like, okay, now I'm used to it. But otherwise I'll be like, what? And so he'll be like, I'm subconsciously thinking, is a very serious scene coming up or like very sharp scene coming up. And okay, chalo, karte. And he goes there and suddenly he's like, Thak, Srikant Tiwari. I'm like, this is so cool.
So magician will not reveal tricks.
There is this one particular scene in season 1 when he's sitting in front of Musa and Musa asks him a question, right? And he's like, sir, aapko he said na
aapki maa,
what is mother?
aapki regret hai ya nahi hai?
About the ma, and he said, correct. Manoj's face suddenly went blank, and I swear to God that Manoj, the actor, forgot the question was coming. I don't know. I can't tell because it's sitting there. He's staring and he gets into, and it's brilliant, right? And it's so brilliant that we didn't even cut it. We just put it in the edit exactly like that. And various times the editor is, are you sure you want this long the whole time? I'm like, no, it's good. Srikant Tiwari was caught so unaware of the character. To this day, I don't know. Manoj, of course, says that, of course, I knew the question. It was Srikant Tiwari. I don't know. I don't know.
No, because, I will tell you, because I didn't know that it will go that long, because in that kind of a situation, when the camera is right on you, DK, then what happens that, sometimes when we go into that zone, we really don't know how far we've gone into it, whether we should just, come up with the words or not. So sometimes, it gets completely blended in. But you know that, directors and their editors, they are going to take a decision in cutting it short or whatever. But, I didn't feel like saying the next sentence to him. Because I was caught unaware by Musa, because he just asked me that, how कि आपको भी अपनी माँ की बहुत याद आती है. And I just forgot, because Srikant Tiwari lies all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. So he himself forgot the lie that he has given to him. Okay, this is and that kind of gave a kick, triggered that pause, that long a pause.
And I think this is also the reason why people are in love with Srikant Tiwari. So, jaise, Raj and DK and Suparn were talking about how you kind of look like Srikant and then snap, you're back into character. एक चीज जो I think biggest appeal है इस character की is the fact that he is the most fidgety and uncomfortable in the most regular, normal circumstances. Having dinner with family, at home, Srikant Tiwari doesn't know what to do. Bachcha ulta jawab de raha hai. She doesn't know what to make of the wife's answers. And yet in the most stressful on-field situations, he is in charge. So this is what the personality, that character is all about. Which bit did you enjoy most playing? Especially I love you with the kids on the show. कि वो उल्टे जवाब दे रहे हैं, and especially the daughter now and the big words that she's using, and Srikant Tiwari is googling words, the whole my marriage is a sham scene and all of that. Do you think now you kind of probably when you had started your career it would have been tough, but now it's easy because you are a married man yourself, a family man yourself, and you have a daughter of your own, so does it just become easy to play this?
There is no competition between Rasgulla and Gulab Jamun. I'm an actor. Okay? कि आपको मिठाई पसंद है, लेकिन ये बताइए कि रसगुल्ला खाना पसंद है कि गुलाब जामुन खाना पसंद है. I just love sweets.
No, but why
It's as
playing
part.
them? Because you have to show the fact that you're uncomfortable in that family setting, and suddenly when you're supposed to be uncomfortable, you're in charge. You know kahan goli
No,
marni hai,
but
kya karna hai.
with family, it's true with all the people who are married. Believe me, because the job is something that you are with most of the time. Okay, and you always fall short to family's expectation. Okay, and when you get into that family zone, that is not some that is a part that you are playing only for a very brief time. The rest of time you are only doing your job. So that restlessness comes from not really knowing or willing to be in that situation. I'm caught here. I mean, even in my family, I'm caught most of the time. With just now when I was having my lunch, and Shavana said, "I can see that you are not in the conversation. You please go and join your interview." So so this is a truth. Not only me as Manoj Bajpayee or Srikant Tiwari, it's true with everyone. Be it a man or a woman, whoever is completely into their job, they will always find other facet of their life much more what do you call, much more uninteresting or not so immersive. Okay, and that's how we all take our jobs, right?
Super, but probably being
Uh,
married in real life really helped you. So
oh,
we can say,
definitely. Oh, definitely. I mean, the experiences, and I don't know whether Nasir Saab told me or who told. Someone has written it. I don't remember. But if you're doing a film on marital life, you'll only know the marriage if once you're married. You Other than that, you'll only treat it as a love story. But marriage is beyond more than just being in a relationship.
yeah, yeah. What was the kind of pressure you guys were under while writing season two? Because season one, still when you were doing it, it was tabula rasa. People loved it, which is great. But after that, when you sat down for this next season, what was the kind of pressure that you had to deal with?
We already wrote season two. We had already finished writing season two. We were actually halfway into shooting season two by the time season one released.
Okay.
So we had no idea what was coming at us. So we were blissfully ignorant of that.
In fact, I'm thankful for that because it kind of saved the integrity of the story. Imagine otherwise the amount of recooking we would have to do after watching reactions from season one. So the story integrity stayed intact, and thankfully that helped us, I think, being true to the story. So, but the pressure is unmistakable because 2 years we've been haunted with this question of when is season 2 coming, from Saturday of the release to now.
Yeah.
So, and as it came closer, we realized, oh my God, this is like too much, too many people waiting. So yeah, the pressure was unmistakable. I haven't slept. I still haven't slept. It's been like a month of this. But yeah, no denying there. It's just crazy to respond to a pressure like that.
So, Pan, coming to you, there are episodes that you have directed, and as a critic, I was taking notes and I was writing down who's directed which episode, and I was amazed at how you had managed to keep the tonality, the flow intact. They say too many cooks spoil the broth. That didn't happen here. How did you guys manage? How did you decide that these are the portions that you're going to direct and this is what the others will direct, and how did you kind of synchronize the whole thing?
So Raj and DK ensured that I got into the process earlier into the writing room itself. So I kind of worked in the writing room, I wrote dialogues and some screenplays as well. And Raj and DK were very clear. They had set a visual template in the first season. Like we liked negative frames. We were going to only go handheld. There were no we actually have only 2 crane shots in the entire season. There are no Jimmy Jips on this season at all, despite all that movement. We have a few drone shots, and stuff. So they had created a template, and we had a lot of discussions. Also, the fact is that Raj DK and I go back almost a decade. We have been friends for that long. We love the same kind of cinema. We come from the same space, And this is not the first time I've worked with him. In fact, I also made an appearance in Go Go Gone with. So I've been in the lights for a while. So yeah, I'm Spider-Man. So it's been a process. So honestly, this is what I wanted to do my entire life. I was waiting for this, and I am glad they kind of this just happened. So it was seamless, and it does come down to a great team and the fact that the clarity that we all had, where it's seamless. You can't make out who did what.
We didn't go the whole Hollywood style of whatever class. We don't know the other style. We don't know because this is our first series. We do your own rules, so it's not like we said, we do it this way. It became seamless after a while. There were some scenes that were shot by Suparn in our. Yesterday I was watching it and thinking, I didn't shoot this scene, and I realized that Suparn shot it, even though we are directing it or whatever. So it becomes jumbled.
Oh, so all of that is also happening.
Yeah. What I mean is it was not strictly episodic. It wasn't strictly episodic. It was, if a majority of an episode might have been directed by whoever is credited for it, but there were pieces of the other directors that do come into, without being credited for it also.
I remember you saying this in an interview that the last season ended on such a cliffhanger, nerve gas attack and all of that. And yet the only thing that people were asking, which you found quite ridiculous, is Lonavala mein kya hua? That whole episode is what got everyone interested. And even for season 2, that was one thing that people were waiting for. In a way, you very smartly dealt with it, and this season ends in that half sentence, and there's a clear sign that there will be a season 3. So how do you deal with that? You knew that that's a chord that is stuck with people. So that whole Lonavala angle in your head, how did you treat that?
That question you asked us, did season 2, how did you take the feedback and stuff?
Right.
That was one of the feedbacks that threw us off completely. Thinking, what is this misplaced excitement on what happened in Lonavala? What happened in Delhi? What happened in all these places? What happened to Zoya? What happened to Milton? What happened to all these guys? But that guy went away, the Sajid went away. So all these things were happening. And Lonavala, so we thought that was the only thing we were kind of mischievous about a little bit. That was one thing we integrated, saying that it's so misguided, misplaced, that maybe we shouldn't answer it only. Maybe we shouldn't be so explicitly answer it only. There are hints everywhere. By now, you know what happened. I'm not going to spell it out, but you know what happened. You know what's going on. But we thought,
I think people want it to be spelled out. People want it to be told to them, so that they're tired of.
People like to be spoon-fed. They anyway want you to just say it.
Something they don't want to jump to their own conclusion, right? Something. Most of the things they will, but something they're like, no, I don't want to make up my mind. You tell me what happened. It's like, apne muh se batao.
Stutee, I'll let you on to a secret. There is a secret room behind DK's cabin, in which they store all the scenes that are written and not used. So what happened in Lonavala is there.
That is the secret room.
That's the one secret I finally got.
The only way you can come to know about it, if have any way you can contact Chellam. He has all the answers.
I'm in love.
Oh yeah, ask Chellam. Yeah.
Chellam.
Ask Chellam. Chellam is like the dude. He's another one from this season that everyone's loving. I wish I had the Chellam in my life. Okay, now you've and thanks Suparn for letting us in on that secret. Season 3, by the way, likhna shuru kar diya since like last season. Have you already started work on it?
Basics.
No.
Yes.
Basics are there. As storytellers, we need to know where the hell the story is going before you end the current season. So we know where it's heading, and we have a good idea, strong idea as to where it's heading. But if season 3 in the works and stuff, it's for Amazon to talk about.
Okay. Now, there's one question that I must ask you. There has been a little controversy about Samantha and the brown face and the fact that her skin tone was dark. People have loved her performance. I personally loved her in the show. But how do you respond to this criticism?
I'm saying that it's again usually this whole coloring of the face is done in a different context. It's a context of, in the context of beauty, in the context of acceptance and rejection, and how people are discriminated based on that. It's about, usually it comes in the stories of where you focus on the beauty. Here, that is not the story. The story is about a soldier who needs to play the part. And we wanted a Tamil speaking actor who's physically fit and who could kick ass and who could really pull it off. Our main concern was a very petite girl taking on somebody double the size and getting him down, and that has to be convincing more than anything. And the seriousness and the intensity with which you come through and show the emotions with the fewest number of dialogues in the whole season. That's the focus of it. Now, getting the character right is the whole appearance. From her clothes, which are like 2 pairs, 3 pairs she uses, I don't even know, it's just nothing. This idea of making somebody who's living in the sun, shooting, working as a soldier, and living her life all this way. There are no luxuries, there are no benefits. So it is just creating that. The context is off. If you look at it in the context of beauty, context of somebody being discriminated based on this, I get it. Of course, and this is a different context altogether. It's a hardened person. If she was a soldier in Himalayas and as a guard there, we would have done her in a different makeup. The idea is to get it there.
It's no different from her being fitter for the role or training for the role or learning a dialect for the role. It's in the same context as all of that put together. It's the character that we create, and she's beautiful. I mean, she's done a great job.
Fabulous. Loved her in the show. Okay, finally, before I let all of you go, the character of Prime Minister Basu, a lot has been said about that. She's being loved, and a lot of comparisons with real life politicians and a certain chief minister. So, anything you want to say? Did you have her in mind while creating this character?
Short answer,
actually,
is that we wrote this in 2.5 years ago. This character, and we always wanted to work with Seema Biswas ever since we saw Bandit Queen Forever. And even she came and asked us, should I change the way I speak, or because she also had new lines given, and so she was trying to figure out, and she was pretty nervous for a veteran actress, so it was just beautiful to see. And we said, no, please be yourself, because you were her the way. This was not very directed, her scenes. She was doing it. She was sitting away and talking on the phone and talking to the guy. Or she's going, big picture, it's all her. It's just beautifully done. And we're just thankful that one of the really cool portrayals. Absolutely no design that way. In fact, we just only borrowed ideas for clothes as to how she should be dressed, because we're sitting there with the costume people, as to who are the people that we'd like to take a jacket from or a sari from, the hair to wear, things like that. But beyond that, nothing.
Super. I had such a great time watching the show and then chatting with you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.